We are so excited to go over how to write cosmetics manufacturing with Pathpoint. So happy you are here. Before we get started, I do want to point out a tool to you guys. At the bottom of your Zoom bar is a Q&A feature. So that is the main feature that you can use to, of course, ask us questions. If you have any comments, anything you want to share, you can use that Q&A feature. And as you think of questions, I encourage you to go ahead and start submitting questions in the Q&A. At the end is when we'll go over all the questions, so we'll have some time for a live Q&A at the end. But you are more than welcome to submit the Q&A or submit your questions throughout the presentation, so we can address them here at the end. But again, welcome. We're so excited you're here, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to our product expert, Craig.
Thanks, Alex. Hi, everybody. Thank you again for joining. We're excited to share more. I work as a product manager here at Pathpoint. Work with a team of engineers who walk through some of the recent work that we're proud to show off. Screen here. So a quick overview of what we plan to cover today. And try to keep it brief because we've got a lot to go through. And as Alex said, happy to answer as many questions as there are at the end. So try to save like 10 minutes for that at the end here. But want to walk through the product, why cosmetics manufacturing, within cosmetics, the eligible products, what kind of businesses are eligible, and then getting into some of the coverages, the carriers. I'll look at some of the submissions that are quoted so far, do a demo, kind of show everything in action, and then do a quick look at what's next. And then, like I said, have time for any Q&A. A quick walkthrough of why we're starting with cosmetics manufacturing, agent feedback, and then as well as Pathpoint's existing carrier partners have expressed an interest in manufacturing, with product liability being traditionally not within admitted carrier appetite, as well as growth in in-home-based businesses, new ventures, Etsy sellers, etc. So we did a survey in August to collect agent feedback on within manufacturing some of the top class codes that they've had a demand for. So based on that feedback, with cosmetics being the second most selected option, is one of the class codes that we're starting with and kind of prioritizing that feedback and rolling out some of the class codes that were of top demand. A quick look at the coverages that are available. So it's starting with the general liability. It is kind of the main offering here, with limits up to $1 million, $2 million. And so a big feature here is it does include products liability within the $2 million products completed operation that is available by default in the system. And so that protects businesses against claims, lawsuits, legal fees related to a product that's alleged or causes harm or is alleged to have caused harm. So even if it ends up being not a valid claim, it covers those legal expenses against that claim. Deductibles starting at $500, and then the minimum premiums, depending on the type of product, start at $750, and then also varies by carrier all the way up to $25,000. And then within the offering, one of the big selling points too is it includes the ability to add as many additional insured vendors as are needed, whether scheduled and or blanket. Within cosmetics, there are a wide variety of products that within everything has been reviewed with each carrier in terms of the products and eligibility in the system. And among those, we're excited that there are 110 different products, everything from nail polish, shaving cream, mouthwash, makeup, toothpaste, shampoo. Kind of let you read through the list here, but a wide variety of different options that, again, as long as the products that are being manufactured, sold are one of these types, are eligible to get a quote kind of in that instant process. That's I think quick and easy to use in Pathpoint. Eligible businesses include a wide variety. I think the traditional type of manufacturer, commercial contract manufacturers you think of, as well as in-home based businesses are all eligible to quote here, as well as relabeling operations, repackaging, importing. If a business is strictly doing importing, from the carrier's perspective, even if they're not the ones making it, are assigned the manufacturing code that's eligible for cosmetics for one of our carriers, and another one it's not. But I think we'll ask those questions in the app to make sure that on a class code basis, each carrier's eligibility is contemplated. And so within all of those, actually one more there too, there's no restrictions on years in business. So new ventures are eligible, and these are all subject to a maximum gross sales of $5 million. The two carriers on the offering here, Markel and Nautilus, both A+ rating from AM Best, and excited about having both of those partners here that are providing that digital offering. A quick look at some of the what's been quoted so far since we launched early or later last week, to get a feel for kind of the products that are selected in the submission flow, and then the resulting quotes here from each carrier. I'm gonna walk through this process really quick, just kind of show these slides, but essentially you'll see these in the demo. These are more for later reference, just to kind of get a sense of the demo experience that we'll walk through, but kind of more as a takeaway here. I'm going to jump to the demo portion and go here so you can see starting a cosmetic submission for general liability. We have the Accord upload functionality here as well. Select the cosmetics class code and do just a live demo here on the fly. And just to highlight here, it's the same quick and easy to use process. Sure that was going to plug in, answer questions, and you'll see here on the product selection page where the different types of products here. I'll select a few different ones. We'll say nail polish, we'll do chapstick, and we'll do lip balm. And then you can see here some of these additional product types. If none of these are applicable, can quickly confirm that. Within some of these, there's additional questions, but nothing, making sure that the specific product type, if it was an anti-wrinkle, anti-aging cream, you could confirm that piece. But also, if none of these apply, kind of quickly confirm here that none of them are applicable. There's additional underwriting questions that are asked, making sure in terms of ingredients, kind of go through these quickly here. A lot of these are contained in the slides, but just making sure, again, the importing is still eligible for carriers, for Markel, but confirming that if they are importing, verifying that piece here. Collect the gross sales, and 1,000. And the additional insured options here available for selection, some to markets. And so as the information is sent here, I'll kind of point back out as the quotes are received to reiterate the products that we selected, that you'll be able to see some of those coming back on the quotes. So some of the carriers have had this ability. For Markel, for example, you'll see their quote letter typically like a couple of seconds behind. Can open this up, and so all the information that was input into the system here is included, as the class code, gross sales, as well as the designated products that I selected there. So these will also be included on the final forms. Again, some of this is in some of the slides that I can jump back to. But all of this information here, you can see the subjectivities laid out in the quick and easy to use fashion that we have on all the existing ones. Class codes. And then jumping here to when you go to the subjectivity step process, one of the items is to confirm those selected products. And all of this, once the documents are signed, including, I kind of skipped over it here, but all the information that was put in becomes a part of the e-sign process. And so the information that was put in gets populated onto the accords, onto the supplemental, that is the Q&A that was input, TRIA forms, due diligence efforts, all of that is as is in other segments of Pathpoint today, contractors, vacant land, lesser's risk, all of that same process applies here too. And again, to point out, I'm going to jump back to the presentation quickly to point out here, all of these steps that I kind of went quickly through are laid out in the deck here to show each step in the process. But ultimately, once all of the documents are signed here, so the Pathpoint supplemental, the accords, the TRIA notice, all of those are e-signable in electronic packet for both yourselves as well as the insureds. And so collecting that information, putting it into the system once, and then it becomes the basis of all the documents that are required after that. So a couple FAQs before we kind of jump into more of a Q&A. The full list here of eligible products, as some of them were shown in the demo, and broad groups have been shown, but just to provide that finite list of what is built into the system today. In terms of what is not specifically listed, those submissions are welcome. I think as we grow out the different types of submissions that fall outside of some of the predefined boxes, we'll continue to add different options into the UX based on how frequently those are submitted. But in terms of the initial submission, there's a question at the end of the product selection where it asks, does the applicant manufacture anything that's not listed above? If you answer yes to that question, well, within the application, ask a list of the questions, including a description, ingredients, website. You'll have the ability to upload any product labels directly in there so that our underwriting team can then take that information, review the submission, have all the information there so you can include it just once, and then it's all in the, within Pathpoint for you for future reference. I went past the additional insured options relatively quickly, but just to show that we have several different options currently available in the system. A quick look at what's up next beyond cosmetics. We have a number of, as I mentioned in the survey results, some of those additional most sought after class codes from your feedback. Include some class codes that we'll be rolling out here in the next few weeks, including candles, as well as leather and artificial leather goods. So similar, I guess, within the list here, shows some examples, but the leather goods NOC code, where it's anything that's not otherwise classified as clothing, as furniture, as some of those other common class codes. So to get a good sense of kind of what's available within that offering is shown here. And then continuously rolling out in January and then early in 2024, footwear is in the works. And then beyond that, clothing, food products was the top requested offering, but that has been required a little bit different solution. So working hard at that one, and then beverages, beer, liquor, soft drinks are all coming soon. So I'm excited about not only cosmetics manufacturing, but also some of the additional opportunities that we have here, offerings. I tried to keep it quick. I think I did. Maybe didn't spend enough time in the demo, but 15 minutes, I'll take it. I think we have one question so far, but Alex, I'll hand it back off to you to run with this portion.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Greg. That was super insightful. It's super exciting to see what we are not only able to do right now, but what we have coming up in the future as well. We do have a question here from Mary, and anybody else that has a question, if you pull up the toolbar on the bottom of Zoom, there's a little bubble that says Q&A. You can click on that. You can submit your questions there, and we will get them answered for you. But Mary was wondering, can we still insure if imported outside of the US?
Yes, thank you for the question, Mary. The answer to your question is yes. I will, within the demo, do a quick example here just to show the submission. And so on the bottom of the eligibility page here is a question on if the applicant imports products from outside of the United States. A yes response is still eligible for, you'll see here, one of our carriers, Markel. So it's on a per carrier basis and per class code basis, where for Nautilus, imported cosmetics products are not within appetite. For Markel, imported cosmetics products are within appetite. So what should happen here is you'll see a decline for Nautilus, and you'll see a quote still for Markel. And so the products imported from outside the US are not in appetite for Nautilus. But again, to help reiterate as you're completing the submission, you provided the yes response to that they're importing, that's still within appetite here. So you have that again, also kind of to go back to the supplemental application that will all be included here that the carriers have signed off on. And so both here, so you can share the insured signature will all be on that same document. Thank you again for that question. I want to make sure that that portion is well understood and communicated.
Right. And then we just got another question in, and it says, direct importers are considered manufacturers. Do you have a market for direct importers?
We do. Similar answer on Mary's question, where we, from a classification perspective, yeah, the importing of goods contemplated in that manufacturing class code, which was selected here, as well as that additional confirmation where some of the class codes, some of the products are even where they're appropriately classified under the manufacturing class code, it's still not eligible for a carrier for a given product type. For other product types, for that carrier, it still could be within appetite. So all of that logic is built within the system per each carrier's underwriting requirements. So based on the direct, the inputs here, you can answer that question, and then the carrier eligibility that was shown here before will like was shown, decline for Nautilus and still quote for Markel.
Then we have another question, and the question's a little off topic, but I'm going to try to bring it back on topic a little bit. Is there the ability to insure a wholesale that gets products imported from, say, China? Like, say if somebody's in Michigan and they get a product imported from China on wholesale, but now they're selling it. Is that something that would be covered as well under this?
So in terms of the importing from China and then distributing in Michigan portion, yes, that's contemplated. I think that would be that similar question. In terms of the specific product types, for cosmetics, I think like the question here, I think was more on tire valves, but any kind of product it is to, I think in terms of the, like what's up next, we have some of these class codes, clothing or product types, clothing, food, beverages, in terms of ones that are planned, but always open to that, to agent feedback in terms of what other kinds of businesses, what kind of accounts do you have? Do you see, what do you have a need for? Because this list after beverages is a little bit open. So whether it's through surveys or direct feedback, would love to continue to hear what's most needed, what's most important to you. Gas stations are in the works. So the question was, the statement was, we need gas stations and commercial auto. I have a high dependency for both, which I'm happy to, we have one solution on the way for gas stations. I don't have exact timing on it yet, but it should hopefully be earlier rather than later in 2024. And commercial auto is a different animal. No promises there. If you find any automated solutions on that, please let us know. But that will be a little bit more difficult nut to crack, but we're always open to a challenge. But I think starting with some of these GL property offerings with our existing carriers, we have a lot of good. We had a different survey in terms of class code offerings where, whether it be food trucks, whether it be nail salons, whether it be vape shops, tobacco stores, builders risk, a lot of different feedback that we're taking into account in terms of what are some of the next best product offerings that we can put on the platform. So again, to reiterate, please respond to those surveys. Please send feedback through your account managers, through whatever means. We would definitely take all of it into consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I have another question here. When filling out the applications, there was a question about having manufacturing in the private residence.
Yes.
So what does that look like when they do have, if they're making candles in their private residence? Is that covered as well?
Thank you. I didn't see you answer that or ask that question, but thank you for that question. So another portion of the home-based businesses, those are, again, totally fine. The underwriting question around that is just making sure that all the products are prepared in a sterile environment. As long as that's the case, that I think also answered, in terms of, are they importing? And then this kind of gets at, are they manufacturing in or on the premises, like a private residence? Again, that's okay, as long as those products are being prepared in a sterile environment.
And there was a question here on who should we contact to find out if you have a market for a specific product? Is there a specific phone number or email address? We do have specific contacts for different regions, just so we have account managers who we're really be more knowledgeable about different states, different regions around the US. So that is under the contact page on our website. Yeah, Illinois, I believe that would be our manager, Catherine. Her email is kcole, so KCOLE @pathpoint.com. So you can email her directly. But for anybody else, if you go to pathpoint.com and go to the contact us page, we have a map of the country listed out where you can see which agent covers or which account manager covers which region, because they'll have the specialized knowledge to be able to answer more specific questions regionally. But if you ever have any generic questions, or if you like wanting to cover auto, and like Craig was saying, those surveys that go out, please subscribe to our marketing emails, because we those are for you guys, and then you guys can fill out those surveys to let us know what you need. And you can even just respond to us at marketing at pathpoint.com and send any of that information over to us as well, and we'll always get that over to the product team, because they're always looking for how can we best serve you guys and what can we do to just make life easier for you. And then, all right, any other questions we have coming up? All right, I don't see any more coming in, but if you're typing, keep on typing. Craig, I'll have you go to that last slide real quick. But for everyone who showed up, thank you so much for showing up. We are so glad that you were here and that you're also excited about the new products coming out. We do have a general demo next Wednesday on the 13th that we would love to have you guys join us for. So if you're newer to Pathpoint, and you just want to learn more about our overall offerings, please join us next Wednesday. That is just a a high level view of Pathpoint, and you get to talk to it. So it won't be webinar style like this. You actually get to be face to face with an account manager, and they can answer questions and just chat with you, and kind of like an office hour style. So we totally encourage you to join us. There's the QR code for that right in the middle. And the top right corner is just how you can get registered with us. Um, and a question just popped up. How do we get a copy of the slides? I will send that out to you guys tomorrow morning. I'll send the recording and the slides. Oddly enough, the recording takes a while to upload. So by the time we get it all uploaded and ready to send out, that'll be ready about tomorrow morning. So you'll have slides, you'll have the recording here that you can watch anytime on demand, and feel free to share any of that information to your teams and your colleagues as well. But
Right, Melissa, send me an email. I'm sending you my email address and I'll send you a copy here after this too. Get on behalf of the press.
awesome. Well, I think that's it for the questions coming in. But if you think of anything else, again, you can reach us on that contact us page to find your specific manager, or you can always reach out at marketing@pathpoint.com. But thank you so much for joining, guys. We are so excited. Keep an eye out for so many more products to come. We'll have more webinars as more products are released. So thank you so much, and we will see you guys next time.